Mara had never spoken a word in her life. Born mute, her world was one of gestures, expressions, and scribbled notes. She had learned to communicate in other ways: soft smiles, pleading eyes, the frantic tapping of fingers when she was scared. But words had never come. At 16, she was used to silence. It wrapped around her like a second skin. But on the night she was taken, silence became her prison. It was late, the sun long buried beneath the horizon, when she left her best friend's house. Her parents had begged her to take the main road home, but Mara loved the shortcut, a narrow trail that weaved through the trees like a hidden tunnel. It was quicker, and besides, she'd taken it dozens of times. She didn't hear the footsteps behind her until they were too close. A hand clamped over her mouth, not that she would have screamed. She tried to bite, kick, twist away. She fought. But he was strong, stronger than anyone should be. She was dragged into the trees, her bag forgotten in the dirt, her phone shattered underfoot. No one saw, no one heard. She woke in darkness, concrete walls, a single flickering bulb, a door with no handle on her side. The man never spoke. He wore a cheap rubber mask, blank, emotionless. Every time she tried to communicate, sign language, writing with a broken nail on the wall, he just watched her. Sometimes he laughed, a low sound that made her blood curdle. Other times, he just stood in the corner, still, silent, like he was studying her. Days passed. She had no voice to scream, no way to beg, no means to call out for help. When she sobbed, it was silent. Heaving shoulders, trembling lips, not a sound. That seemed to amuse him. She realized quickly, he had chosen her because she couldn't scream. On the 7th night, she awoke to a different sound. Not the man's footsteps, something else. A distant creaking. A whispering, just on the edge of hearing. Almost childlike. She turned toward the door. It was open. But the man was nowhere to be seen. Trembling, she crept out into a narrow hallway. The walls were lined with old drawings, children's crayon art, all of them smeared and torn. Stick figures with X's for eyes, black suns, a girl in a cage. She turned a corner. There he was, face down, motionless, blood seeping out beneath him in thick pools. His mask had been torn off. His mouth was open wide in a scream so frozen in terror, it looked like it had been etched in stone. She stepped back, nearly tripping over something behind her. It was a doll, one that looked exactly like her, down to the clothes she was wearing. Its painted mouth was sewn shut. They found her the next morning, standing in the middle of the road barefoot, covered in dirt and blood. A trucker nearly ran her over. She couldn't explain what had happened, and no one found the building where she said she'd been kept. But they believed something horrible had occurred. The fear in her eyes was enough. She never spoke, of course. She couldn't. But she never slept through the night again. Because sometimes, on windless, moonless nights, she swears she still hears it, the whispering, and it says her name. But now, she's too scared to even mouth the words. Help me.